Good afternoon, Aaron. My name is Mihiraa. Let's start the warm-up session. What do you find rewarding about being a nurse?
I truly love helping people, and the most rewarding thing for me as a nurse is seeing the joy of patients and their families. It is always a priceless feeling to see our patients recover to a normal life after going through a difficult time. Throughout my years as a nurse, I have seen many heartbreaking times as well, and being able to help those families cope with loss has been very difficult, but also rewarding.
Tell me what you feel your greatest skill as a nurse is.
My greatest skill as a nurse is my communication ability. I'm very proud of my ability to listen to what a patient is telling me. Nothing frustrates them more than feeling as though they're not being heard, and actively listening can help make someone comfortable. In addition, I learned that addressing their concerns and communicating assuredly make them feel comfortable, which is important to receiving quality care.
What do you find is the hardest part about being a nurse?
I think the hardest thing I've had to deal with is feeling helpless. While it's my job to provide as much care and comfort as medically possible, there are times when I just can't do more. Seeing someone in pain or feeling miserable and knowing there's nothing you can do to help is the most difficult thing I deal with. I am a nurse because I genuinely care about people and want to help, and when I can't, that's hard.
Importance of communication in nursing.
Communication in nursing is the exchange of information, thoughts, or feelings between nurses and patients, as well as among nurses and other healthcare professionals. Communication is important in nursing because it facilitates the delivery of quality care and builds trust and rapport. Communication also helps nurses to ensure patient safety by verifying information, reporting changes, and following protocols.
Discuss the personal attributes that make you especially qualified as a nurse.
I am extremely detail-oriented. Whether I'm charting and keeping records, noting patient conditions, or administering medication, I always double-check my work. Efficiency is important, but not at the expense of accuracy, and I believe in removing as many barriers to accurate care as I possibly can. I am also very observant. I tend to notice the details about patients' conditions that others miss. Whether it's a glassy look in their eye or a certain way they are clutching their abdomen, I look for and record details that may offer clues into the causes behind a patient's condition.
Your preparation time is over. You can now start your roleplay.
Mihiraa, I can see you're feeling a bit uncomfortable with those rashes on your chest. I'm here to help. So let's work through this together and find out what's going on, all right?
Yes, it's really bothering me. I'm not sure what's causing it, but it's been getting worse.
I'm sorry to hear that, Mihiraa. Let me start by asking you a few questions so I can better understand your situation. We'll then go over what this could be and how we can manage it. How does that sound?
Okay, that sounds good.
Great. To start with, could you tell me more about your rashes?
Sure, I noticed it about 4 days ago. At first, it was just a small patch, but now it's spread across my chest. It does itch a bit, and sometimes it feels like a mild burning sensation.
Have you noticed any other symptoms like a mild fever, headache, or fatigue before the rash started?
Yes, I did have a bit of a headache and felt a little tired a couple of days before the rash showed up.
I see. Thank you for sharing that. Have you had any recent activities that might have triggered this?
Not that I can think of. I haven't changed any skincare products, and I haven't been around anyone who seemed ill. The only thing different is that I went on a hike last weekend, but that's it. Above all, I even haven't tried any self-help treatment for this to make it spread.
That's helpful information, Mihiraa. I'm also curious about your general lifestyle.
I eat pretty healthily, mostly fruits and vegetables, and I don't smoke. I do have a mild allergy to pollen, but it usually only gives me a runny nose, nothing like this.
Thanks for that. Mihiraa, from what you've told me, and after examining the rash, the appearance and distribution of the rashes seems likely that you have a fifth disease. This is a common viral infection that often starts with a rash on the chest and then spreads to other areas of the body. I understand that it can be concerning to have a new diagnosis. Is there anything specific you'd like to know about fifth disease or the treatment options?
Fifth disease? I've never heard of it. How sure you are with the clinical opinion?
That's a good question, Mihiraa. I'll explain in detail about my clinical findings. The fifth disease is a mild viral infection, and one of its hallmark features is a distinctive rash that often begins on the chest and then spreads to other areas of the body. This pattern of rash distribution is a strong indicator of this diagnosis. In addition to the rash, you have experienced mild, cold-like symptoms before the rash appeared. These symptoms include fever, fatigue, or headache, which are typical early signs of the infection. Mihiraa, it's completely understandable if you're feeling overwhelmed by this information, but let me reassure you that the fifth disease is usually very manageable. For most people, it's a mild illness that doesn't require any specific treatment. The key point is that fifth disease is typically self-resolving. It clears up on its own without the need for medical intervention. So, while the rash and the preceding symptoms might be uncomfortable, they are generally not a cause for concern. If you have any more questions, or if you're worried about how it might affect you, feel free to ask.
That's a relief. But is there anything I can do to feel better?
Absolutely, Mihiraa. I understand that dealing with the itching and discomfort from the rash can be really challenging. To help manage these symptoms, I recommend applying a gentle moisturizer to the affected areas. This can soothe the skin and reduce itching. If the itching becomes particularly bothersome, you might find relief with over-the-counter antihistamines or pain relievers. These can help manage the itchiness and any discomfort you're experiencing. However, it's important to monitor the rash closely. Mihiraa, if you notice that it starts spreading significantly, if you develop a high fever, or if you begin to feel generally unwell, it's crucial to seek medical attention right away. These signs could indicate that something more might be going on, and it's better to be cautious and get a professional opinion if you're concerned. I'm here to support you, so please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any more questions or need further advice.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you for explaining everything so clearly. You're very welcome, Mihiraa. I'm glad I could put your mind at ease. Take care, and I hope you feel better soon. Thanks, Marcus.